Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May the Lord protect us. May He nourish us. May we acquire the capacity to study and understand the scriptures. May our study be brilliant, and may we not cavil at each other. Om, peace, peace, peace unto us all. Is there an echo? Anybody who are listening on the Zoom set, do they have it? No. Just make sure. Nilesh should. Okay. So, dear brothers and sisters, loving Sai Ram to all of you. We welcome everyone to the Sri Sathya Sai Baba Center of Arcadia. We are now going to do the study circle on Gita Vahini. We are continuing. You should have received the email regarding this chapter 15, page 66. And if you have a hard copy, same chapter 15 and page 134. So, not last week, we had the Swami talking. So the week before, we finished the chapter 14. So just to refresh, so first we were also talking about the importance of Bhagavad Gita. Right? It's such a sacred scripture. So one of the uniqueness about it is, where was it taught? In the middle of the battlefield. There is a battlefield going on, fighting, they're putting all astras, that means rockets, shooting, their missiles and all that going this way, that way. And during that time, are you going to teach higher spirituality? So he taught. It is another place like this in our scriptures where a great scripture is taught in the middle of the battlefield. Anybody knows? Aditya Hrudayam. Aditya Hrudayam, this is in Mahabharata. This is Lord Krishna teaches Arjuna this Bhagavad Gita, whereas sage Agastya teaches Aditya Hrudayam to Lord Rama in the middle of the battlefield when he was tired fighting with Ravana. He doesn't need it, but for the sake of the humanity, so that he gets, there is worship of the sun god. Here, the reason is we are all in the battlefield, so we are not fighting with guns or arrows, but it is Tasmat Sarveshu Kaleshu, the famous Swami used to also use in the discourses. Mam Anusmara Yudhyatya. Think about me and fight. Everyone is for all the humanity. Think of me. Mam Anusmara, means think about me. Yudhyatya, fight. Think of me and fight. So we are all in the middle of the battlefield, whether at home, at work, or in the society, or in the country. We are not talking about these battles which are not with the weapons, but the battle between good forces and evil forces. That is why even at the time of Ramayana, that when Ravana he has to fight, there is the evil demonic forces and divine forces, Lord Rama. And same thing in Mahabharata, the good forces, which is Pandavas, and then bad forces, Duryodhana. And in each of us, we have good and bad. So that time, Swami said beautifully, the bad person was there in Ravana, demon, in another island. So the demon in another place. So he has to go there and kill them and the demons. So in the time of Mahabharata, in the same family, they are cousins. Always they get more trouble when the cousins, Pandavas and Kauravas, nothing but brothers, cousins. So it was cousins, they were fighting, good and evil. So that is why he has to eliminate Lord Krishna came and supported the Pandavas to eliminate the evil. So that is why they waged this Mahabharata war, a righteous war. So in this age, Swami says he has to eliminate the evil, he has to get rid of all of us. So everyone, we have got the negative qualities. That is desire, anger, greed, attachment, pride, and jealousy. The 6 enemies: Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mata, Matsarya. So every one of us got that demons, enemies. So the war is going on. And the good forces are the love, compassion, and 5 human values. So through that 5 human values, Swami says, you can eliminate these negative people. Truth, right conduct, peace, love, and non-violence. Sathya, Dharma, Shanti, Prema. So that is why this is a daily Vedantic text. It is practical text, Bhagavad Gita. So we compare to some of these Upanishads are great essence of Vedas. Veda Anta means end of Vedas. All those great 108 Upanishads were there, and they are taught by the great sages, revelations in the caves, in the forests, and all that. But that are for just spiritual evolution, philosophical tests. Whereas here, this is practical Vedanta. But at the same time, last time, as what did he say? 3 major things Bhagavad Gita is. Bhagavad Gita Su, Lord Krishna, Upanishad, it is a Upanishad by itself. Brahma Vidya, we all want Brahma Vidya, knowledge of the Brahman. And Yoga Shastra, it is like a teaching yoga. So it's the combination. The Bhagavad Gita Su, Upanishad Su, Brahma Vidyayam, Yoga Shastra, Krishna Arjuna Samvad. So the dialogue between that. So that is why it is very important. Another thing last week, what did we say? So the people who talk about it, they are doing great service. Like you go and talk about Gita, it's a great service to other your friends, family. And then he says, the people who listen are also blessed people. They get rid of all their sins and go to the Punya Lokas. That is why I told last time all of you to refer, go to chapter 18, Loka 68, 69, 70. Any one of you did? No, good. 0% is good. Either 100% or 0. So just it is where he says how it is important. Then you get inspired. Even Sanjaya, who was relating this whole thing to Dhritarashtra, he says, the more I hear about this dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna, I shed tears, my hair is standing out. I'm so joyous. Really, you should feel that kind of joy when you are, because these are God's words. That is why people don't know. One of the Dhyana shlokas is Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam. The others are taught by a guru or a rishi. Here, for Partha Arjuna, who is teaching? Narayanena Swayam. God Himself is teaching. Like we are lucky for us, Lord Sai has been teaching. But in all the other places, mostly sages, saints, rishis, they teach. Here, for the thing, Parthaya Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam. The Lord Himself is teaching. That's why every word is very important. And what is it full of? Advaita Amruta Varshinim. It is the rain of Advaita, this whole thing. And Bhavadveshinim. It gets rid of our all worldly bondage and makes us free, joyous, and happy. That is the thing. So there is. So where is it? Which part of Bhagavad Gita is where? Which is scripture? No, I'm asking. So because sometimes we forget which scripture. So one of my friends said it is there in Ramayana, Rama taught to Hanuman, he said. So you should know, that is why he says, Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavatam Narayanena Sam. Who wrote it? Vyasena Graditam. At least we should know the who. Vyasena Graditam Purana Muninam, which is the ancient Muni. Madhye Mahabharatam, it is in the middle of Mahabharata. Advaitamruta Varshinim Bhagavatim. Mother Gita, you are the rain of Advaita. That means it makes us real. Bhagavatim Ashtadasha Dhyayinim. How many chapters? 18 chapters. Amba Tvam Anusandadami Bhagavad Gita Bhavadveshini. You Bhavaroga. We all have, everybody some people have diabetes, some high blood pressure, some heart disease, some cancer. But this one disease is common to everybody, from child to old person, from king to pauper, from scholar to ignorant. What is that common? Bhavaroga, the disease of worldliness. That is common. Everybody. That's why Bhavadveshinim, it is Bhagavad Gita. What is the solution Swami said in the first bhajan? Manasa bhajare guru charanam dustara bhavasagara taranam. So if you read Gita is good, Swami simply said, just hold on to my faith in the mind, bhavasagara taranam. He will take you across. So that is equivalent to have Gita, just holding on to the Guru's feet, our Swami. So that is what the importance, when you know the value of this treasure, anything you appreciate. Somebody gives you a diamond, they think it is just a stone, $10 worth, you don't put it somewhere. No, that is worth $100,000. Then, my God, you go and put it in secure place and iron safe, make sure nobody. Similarly, this is Guhyatam Guhyam, this is the secret of secrets, Bhagavad Gita, such a treasure. We cannot take it so lightly. We should take it very serious and keep it in our heart and live in the daily life. That's why we said. And last week, what did we talk about? So the 7 questions, 7 things Lord Krishna said, and the 7 questions. Then Arjuna asked, what are the 7 questions? He asked, okay, I will tell, please, let us have interactive. First he asked about Brahma, because he mentions, if you know all this, he says, you will merge with me. Lord Krishna says, so if you don't want to merge with me, please don't know about them. So just we should be. So if you want to merge with them, with me, that Lord Krishna says, you should know all what this is. And then Arjuna is a good student. He says, Lord, what is those 7 things? Brahma, karma, adhyatmika, adidaivika, adibhautika, adyajna, and finally how to leave the body. That is the most important. Because we all live, some live. There is a beautiful shatkam called Narsimha Shatkam. Balyamando, you live, maybe childhood people die. Balyamando, manchi prayamando, are in the youth, young people die in young age. Mudimiyando, leka musaliyando, are some people in middle age, or when become old. So either, and you don't know when the Lord Swami says, the camera you have, you will say, be ready, and we take the picture. But Yama doesn't say, be ready, I will take a picture. You will never know when he will take your picture. So we should be always ready. That is what Swami says. For that, you need to know this. So we last couple of weeks, we talked about first thing, Swami. Actually, in Bhagavad Gita, original scripture, Lord Krishna, Brahman, he talks very briefly, each question. But our Swami is so kind, he explained the whole thing, really what is Brahman, how it is eternal, how it is Sachidananda, Asti, Bhati, Priyam. He finished all that about talking about Brahman. Then he started about the karma. And then first he talked about primal karma. Primal karma is how the whole creation came. Everything was there. Is nothing there before. Like they told, what do they call dark hole or dark fortress or something like that. There was, before creation, there was nothing. So Swami made it very simple. I separated myself from myself so that I may love myself. That love is the purpose for the whole creation. But there are many theories of creation. We don't need to go into that. But the primal karma, so God willed it, let there be. Like in the Bible says, God created, let there be mountains. 7 days he created. So we have different, and if you talk about the people, scientists, evolution, first there was this, first there was insect, then we have got the fish, then the mammals, then humans, like the different things. But here, we should know the purpose of creation is for the purpose of love. That's what Swami said. But that is because of, that is the primal karma. That is the first karma of God himself. He could keep quiet. Why do you have to create and give us all this trouble? They say, why should he create? They says, there is no reason for season for love, right? You want to love somebody, what is the reason? Yeah, I love you. I love you. There is no reason need to be. Not real love doesn't need to have a reason. That is why there is a beautiful bhajan. No reason for love, no season for love. That is the reason. It is Hidavastakilam Jagat. Like a child sitting on the shore of a seashore or in the river bed, you will building little sand castles, put them and again put them. Why does he do that? It's fun for him. So for the Lord, Krida was Takilam Jag. This whole thing is a play. He wants to do that. He wants to have fun. He's getting bored. So he creates that. But in that part of the play, we are all part of it. So there is primal karma. Now he is going to talk about individual karma. For each one of us, we have our own baggage. The minute Swami says, Brahma mi pampunu barumala, he says it is loaded with everyone. You don't see it. I don't see his karma mala. You don't see mine. Each one of us has got this garland of our karma before. And we have to pay for it. That is called 3 types of karma. What are the 3? Sanchita karma, what we did in the previous lifetime, and prarabdha karma, which started giving effect. That's why we are born and we are in this family, or in this work, or society. And then agami karma, what we are doing, which will give the effect in the future. So these are all the things. So now he is going to talk about it. And so this is on page 134. So chapter 15. Any questions anybody has? That is why if you enjoy this, if you do some reflection and study at home, that will be good. So encouraged to do that. Then you enjoy. Otherwise, this is not, it should not be a lecture class like I'm giving talk, and be a study circle. That is why we call that. Swami says the more interaction and do, you enjoy, and otherwise it will be more passive. Okay, go ahead.
Chapter 15. Karma is of my nature. I manifest myself as karma, said Krishna, to the great consternation of Arjuna. He made it clear that all karma is divine of his essence. It is enough if you know that Brahman, the universal, Atma, the individual, and karma are all 3 in me. Knowledge of this will confer release. You need not worry about the rest, said Krishna, as if he wanted to avoid further discussion. Evidently, Krishna wanted to take the chariot into the ranks of the foes and start the conflict, for time was flying fast. But Arjuna was adamant. He was different. Ordinary men would not have argued even so long with Krishna. When Krishna says, do not worry about the rest, one should stop worrying. But Arjuna was the right interrogator for Krishna, and Krishna was the right teacher for Arjuna. In fact, they are Nara Narayana, man and God, is it not? Hence the appropriateness, the interest and value of this dialogue. Arjuna was not content to leave the matter at that. He did not accept Krishna's assurance. Tell me about the remaining 3 also, O Lord, he pleaded. Save me from the coils of doubt, he prayed. Destroy the darkness and reveal to me your reality, he insisted. At this, Krishna melted a little. He fondly stroked Arjuna's back and replied, do not grieve, I shall tell you all. Adi Bhutam, about which I mentioned is not such a formidable tangle. It is something quite within the reach of all. Everything that declines and dies, everything that has rupa and nama, form and name, is included in Adibhutam. To put it in other words, Adibhutam is apara prakriti, the evanescent and transitory aspect of God. All these embodied things on this side and on the other and everywhere are Adibhutam. In spite of this, they are not different from me, said Krishna, pausing meaningfully. He did not continue the exposition. I'll stop here. So, first thing we note, we're talking about these 7 things that Dr. Reddy was talking about. More importantly, what last week also very much we dwelt on karma. And he starts here, karma is of my nature. So, and also he made one more important thing. Brahman, the universal, the Atma, the individual, and the karma are all 3 in him, in me. That's what he's saying. And then more importantly, here the final thing, he's talking about Adibhutam. So the name and form is also included in him. So everything is in him. It came from him. It's him, and then it merges back in him. That's what we need to understand. But specifically here, the name and form, which in anything, whatever you see, Sachidananda Nama Rupa, Sachidananda Nama Rupa, this Nama Rupa part here, the Adibhutam is basically, it is him, it is included in him. That's what he says. So, in all essence, one by one, he's mentioning these things. Why? Because many times we get doubt. We are basically we are full of doubts because we are ignorant, and that's why we get doubts again and again on this particular thing, because we are not seeing the truth as we see what the Lord is saying. Universal Atma, the individual, and karma. Karma is the most important thing to look at. All other things, the thought, anything, the action, whatever we talk about, everything starts there, and it has just, it's a cycle that goes on, and we don't realize that it is a cycle, it is a play. Till we are in that play, this Nama Rupa play, we are caught up in that Nama Rupa, and we are just going along with it, and we are not seeing the other side of the beyond that. And that is what, first it has to be slowly taken up. It cannot be immediate, because the Lord sees everything and he knows what is the reality. But here he is talking to Arjuna, who's not seeing that reality. So the frame of reference is very, very important. So when he doesn't see the truth, the reality, so the Lord has to come down to his part to explain to him about this Nama Rupa. Again, that's another further, when we are reading that, it's so beautiful again. One thing I want to mention here is, in Bhagavad Gita, it's just question and answer, it goes. There's a question, answer. But here suddenly Swami says, he is putting the feeling of Lord Krishna. He says, evidently Krishna wanted to take the chariot into the ranks of the force and start, and for a time he was just trying to leave. Is it there in the Bhagavad Gita? You could not see, but here Swami knows he is Lord Krishna himself. So he is actually bringing that scene of what is exactly happening there to us by writing these things. Otherwise, it is, we are not there. He 5,000 years back, he can go and actually picturize that whole episode, what is happening between Lord Krishna and Arjuna, and he's actually putting that scene for us to really ourselves to put and see how Swami we have to get his teachings. We all need to be like Arjuna to really get the teaching. That is the most important thing that I see from here.
Yeah, so that is a good point. You should be like Arjuna, a sincere seeker and intense. So for him, there is nothing like going back in time. What is I am Kala Swarupa? Lord Krishna says God is time. So he is beyond. Like in the beginning, same thing happens. Like how we think, how does Swami know that time? What happened? So same thing, Lord Krishna says, I taught this first to sun god, and sun taught to this Vasata Manu, and Manu taught to Ichwaku, and Ichwaku my God, you are just a recent my colleague. So just you are a few years older than me. That's all. How can you be talking to son who has the ancient? So you had the doubt. So because Lord Krishna says, I taught this Gita is not first time for you. It looks like, but I saw it to sun god who taught to the Manu. I was for the Manu, and he talked to the Ichwaku kings, and then it came down in generations. So this guy. Then Arjuna gets out. I said, you are just, how could you be teaching? He's thousands of years old. He says, I was there before, I am now here, I will be there forever. So I'm beyond the past, present, and future. I am the eternal. And then he makes a comment, anyone who understands this reality of mine, that I am eternal, he will be liberated from the cycle of birth and death. Punarjanma na vidyate. He won't be born again. Because, and he says, most of us ignorant, we think Lord Krishna is just that form, born such and such time, left the body. He says, Lord Krishna says, avajanantimam mudham manushim tanuma shritam param bhavam ajananto mama bhuta maheshwaram. They are insulting me. People think avajanti ma mudha, ignorant people, avajanti are insulting. He says, I'm thinking I'm a human being. I am all pervading reality. Another place also it says, Avyaktam Vyaktimapanyam Manyante Mama Buddhaya. There he says Mudha, now he says Buddhi. There's no Buddhi. So these guys, they think I'm this. That is why we constantly should remember, that is why Swami made it very simple. There is only one God who is omnipresent. That is why I think only Shiva will give, Vishnu will give, Brahma will give, Allah will give, Jesus will give. But they're all ignorant people because it is all only one God. So you're calling him for your satisfaction. And the same God answers. If you go to Mecca, he will answer your prayer. If you go to Bethlehem, Nazareth, or Vatican, he will answer your prayers wherever it is because he's everywhere. Maybe in a different name and form. So that once you understand that reality, then confusion won't be happen. Only this for you, that form you may like. It doesn't mean. That is why I was listening the other day about Swami Vivekananda. How even him, over course of time, he changed his form. As a child, I heard he used to worship in his Rama and Sita. And somebody said, oh, marriage life is a bondage. You should not be, you should be celibate, we are brahmacharyan. Oh, really? Then he discarded Rama. Rama is married. I don't want this man to be my idol because Rama and Sita, he said, somebody he heard one of the praying, oh, marriage is a bondage. People really want to achieve God, should be was not celibate. Anyway, he became a monk. That Ron never married. So that. Then he used to worship Shiva. And then finally, he come to Mother Kali. There's like somebody cutely wrote, he went from, he used to teach mostly in Boston. That's where Chicago, he gave the Parliament of Religion. So then latter part, he came to California. You know that there is a house, people who never visited in Pasadena, there is a house for Swami Vivekananda where he stayed. And he went up those hills. People who never thought there is a holy place, it is worthwhile going there. There's a meditation room, you can go and sit upstairs. Where Swami, they said, I'm going to the land of Kali, California. Kali, so this is the land. So I thought we are in the land of Kali, California. So this is a holy place. That's why so much spiritual movements in California. So this is, so he realized the power of Mother Kali. Later on, each one is the same God, but what each time he was influenced by, then each time your revelation will be there. But for that, you should have good karma. So first you need to have clear concept. Everything in the universe is only five. What is that? Sat, Chit, Ananda, Nama, Rupa. Or Asti, Bhati, Priyam, Nama, Rupa. Just at least young boy, imprint in your mind. So these first three, Satchid Ananda is permanent, eternal, always will be there. Whereas Nama Rupa is temporary, goes on changing, even avatars. This avatar came, Swami, he left his body. And Rama came, left. Sidi Baba came, left. That form, name and form, even of the avatar is not permanent. It comes and goes. So the eternal is Satchidananda. But God is everything. First, in the beginning, you get attached to name, form. But finally, you should go beyond name and form and reach that to be completely in bliss. So that is one clear concept. Second concept, Swami says, here, karma is of my nature. So every one of us should be active. Nobody should be lazy. Always active work. Because Swami says, Lord Krishna clearly says this. You should. It says, "Evam pravartitam chakram nanuvarta yatahya aghayur indriyaramo mogham partha sajivati." This wheel of action I put to motion. It means go on working for everybody. So the people who don't partake in that, they're mogham partha savojati. They're wasting their life when you are not involved. So all of us, from childhood to the end, that's why Swami and Swami's mission, there is no retirement. In other places, you retire at 55, 60, 65. But Swami, a lot of people who work with Swami, my father retired at 60, then even Swami put him to work, go here, go do. So many people there till 90 they work. So because, why? Lord Krishna himself set an example. Name parthasti kartavyam trishulokeshu kinchana nanamaptam avaptavyam vartamyanicha karmani. It says, in these three worlds, I don't have any duty because God has no, we have a duty. Take care of the family, take care at work, take care of society. But he says, I don't have any obligation, I don't have any duty. But even though I don't have obligations, still I go on working. Why? Because I want to set an example to the world. Always we have to keep active. But how? Thinking everything is divine. There's only, so Swami says, all work is divine. In Telugu, he used to say, Vannade okate karma, bhagavat karma. It is nothing but all action, good action is divine. So Swami says, don't differentiate secular and sacred. All work is divine. That you should have spiritualized everything. I think I shared the story of how Swami to Haima gave us instruction how everything to spiritualize. You want to say Haima? So we say the story. No. We used to go to Swami in every summer, and he was lucky. We used to call us and do that. And that time our children were in high school. So she was hard work. She used to pick them, take them from home, carpool, go to the school, Westridge, drop them there, then come to the office, see the patients till the evening, come give lunch, and the evening come home, cook and give the dinner. So it was all this. Morning, I used to go there into the puja room, 6 o'clock, meditate till 8 o'clock, and then go. And evening, come sit and meditate. So she says she's no time for her to do any meditation or do that. She was not happy. You just, this is not. So whom can she tell? She was. Then when we went to put about this Swami, so when somebody goes, so just Swami called us. Then Swami called and said, then she said, Swami, see, Narendra goes and sits in this, and I have to do all this morning to evening, go to the school, go to this, cook, and no time for my sadhana at all. Then I thought, my God, I am in trouble. Swami may tell, go and cook or go draw. So, but Swami is so kind. Yes, No, you should do that. Is also God's work. Think your husband is God, serve him. Think your children are God, take care of that. You should divinize everything spiritual. God, otherwise, if I said to do coffee or cook, I will be in trouble. Then you give a profound thing. Everything they should, as long as you think something is secular, something is sacred, you will never have peace. You should think everything is God's work. And he gave a beautiful example of the kitchen. I shared this before. Some of the people may not know. He says, when you are cutting vegetable, because when you're cooking, cut vegetable. When you're cutting vegetable, think you're cutting your ego. And when you're doing chapati, when put this dough and do that, you are broadening your heart, filling it with love. And when you're vacuuming, think you are getting rid of the negative qualities, desire, anger, greed, attachment. So what is more to spirituality than this? You get purification of the heart by getting rid of the evil quality, vacuuming, cutting your ego, cutting the vegetable, and filling the heart with love. That's all right. Is there anything different anybody can have? Purifying the heart, getting rid of the ego, and filling the heart with love. So that way, the kitchen becomes like an ashram. You will be able to, ladies will be happy. You can all the rishi, become rishis by doing the cutting vegetables, doing chapatis, and vacuuming. So just says everything is, that is what he says. All action, all karma is divine. We should have that complete conviction and do. So don't try to think only go to the forest or a cave. If you can go, it is good, but that is not a mandatory thing to do. So this is the important thing I wanted to share with you. And also another thing, people saying, why did this karma come? So where did it start? How did we come? So don't try to analyze. That is what Lord Buddha said. Beautiful example. They're all practical masters. Somebody hit somebody guy with an arrow. It is stuck in him. So he's going to die if the arrow doesn't come out, right? So this guy asks, hey, where did the arrow come from? What is the velocity of the arrow? This is 8 meter. And what is the tip of the arrow made up of gold or iron? If you go on analyzing, you will die. But all you are interested is take out the arrow and you will be saved. Similarly, in life, we are come in this world, have this karma. How to transcend karma? As Swami says, hold on to God's feet or surrender to Him. I have love for God. These are the standard things which you do that. So that's why, as Sri Ramakrishna used to say, when you go to a mango garden, don't, how many mango leaves are there, don't count, or how many mango flowers. Take nice mangoes, nice, delicious, eat and enjoy. That will give you happiness. Eating the mangoes, right? Not counting leaves, counting branches. So we should have a practical Vedanta. This one, how does all this, Lord Krishna, Buddha, all great masters taught us how to live so that we will have happiness. Atyantika dukkha nivritti, niravadika shanti prapti, eternal bliss and no grief. So that is what, because there is only 5 more minutes. If there is anybody has any questions, if not, we can discussion. Yeah. Yeah, that is what I said already. I told you, when is the primal karma is because of God Himself. He generated like the Adam and Eve story, and here coming. There is a beautiful suktam, people, when you have time, read in Rigveda or Nasadiya Sukta. How did the creation come? Those rishis and says, he says, don't ask the creation. How the creation came, even the gods cannot answer. Because gods were created, right? There was no creation before that. Even gods cannot answer. So just live the way it is. How the primal, Lord Krishna says, primal karma. So the Lord willed it so, it became. But in ultimate sense, if you go, there is no karma at all. But that is the highest thing, Ajatavada. Because once it is in a dream, you will go through many things. The minute we wake up, what happens? There is no more, nothing, no tiger in the dream, no snake, that won't affect. Similarly, this is whole thing, all this Adi Shankara, Ramana Maharshi, everybody say this is all daydream. Even Swami told me that. So once you wake up from the daydream, even this won't affect us. But we love to be in the daydream and go on dreaming and go through all these ups and downs. So just is the need to wake up from the dream. Then no more karma. Nothing karma won't affect. There is no karma at all then. But till then we are in the duality. We have to go through the cycle. That is why for us practical is do good karma. Think good, think no evil. Speak good, speak no evil. Hear good, hear no evil. See good, see no evil. Do. So this is very simple. This is the way to God, Swami said. Instead of going the complicated philosophical and metaphysical things, sometimes you go nowhere. So just this everybody can do, whether you know Vedas or not, Upanishads or not, right? Anybody who can't, we can always see good thing, hear good thing, think good thing, speak good thing, do good things. So those are the things Swami said anyone can do, irrespective of age, gender, and station of life. Okay, well, yeah.
It's basically about that frame of reference. We are in this, when in the ignorant world of this duality, we are seeing, perceiving this. So it is in the infinite compassion the Lord has taken and explains the way that we can understand. There's no way that we can, if he says there's no karma, there's nothing, we will not be able to understand that. So he's putting in the format that we will understand, so that slowly you will expand to a situation where you will come, that what Dr. Reddy is saying, that what Swami is saying, that you will be, once you realize there is no difference between me and him, then automatically that knowledge is already there, then you won't see it. So until then, all the questions will be there, and there's no way that we can, some questions we have to ignore, and we have to have that confidence that Swami has given this answer, and we have to move on.
Yeah, because the one thing practical, what level we have, like for example, Ramana Maharshi, so that is, she says the root cause, who am I? So just everybody, most of the people get what is, they would like to have come to Swami and Avatar because I want to pass the exam, pray to him, will pass. I want to have children, so just pray to him good. I want to get a job, pray. So here, if you go to Ramana Maharshi, says, what is solution? Find who am I? He says, well, I am not. So very few people are interested at that level, very highly. And one person says, Bhagavan, Ramana, so what is the way? Is the way you came. So the way you came, that guy got so upset. That means you're not going to get rid of me. So it means the way you came from God, so go back, God. That is what Ramanamai means. But this guy, in worldly sense, he thought, oh, what is the way, Swami? And the way you came. So that means he thought he was very rude to tell him to get lost. He says, we all came from God, go back to God. So, but most of the people cannot understand those high level Advaita. That is why, for practical purposes, Swami, that is the uniqueness of Avatar. He will teach from the most ignorant to the most knowledgeable Vedic scholars, Advaitis. He can cater to all levels. That is from kindergarten to PhD. Whereas those people are only for PhD. So that is the beauty of the Avatar. He fulfills our wishes. I remember one time in Prashanti, that time there was one man came, and then, in Ohio area, there was a famous philosopher called Jiddu Krishnamurti was there. So somebody came to visit. There was one Baal Sai devotee, and he stayed there in Ohio at that time. And then he says, did you visit? Yeah, Jiddu Krishnamurti. So how is, yeah. But Jiddu Krishnamurti philosophy, he says, he is find out who are no logic. He said, but when you have a knee pain or back pain, I can't say Jiddu Krishnamurti, nothing will happen. Say Sai Ba Sai, Sai Sai, my pain will be gone. So we should be practical. So these philosophers, for philosophy, good, but practical thing to have good comparable thing, you need to pay the Avatar. Okay.